Hey there, and thank you for listening to the Dream Center Peoria podcast. Dream Center Peoria exists to impact families living in poverty, starting with kids and youth. If you want to learn more about what we're up to at the Dream Center, you can find us online at dreamcenterpeoria.org or on social media at Dream Center Peoria. Thanks for listening.
Hi and welcome. My name's Andy from Dream Center Peoria, and you're listening to the Dream Center podcast that's been looking a little different recently, calling it New Realities because of the season that we're in. And I wanted to give you a pretty significant update as to what we are going to be doing in the weeks ahead. As you know, our response has been obviously to keep our operations as much as we can at the Dream Center rolling, especially when it comes to our homeless shelter. We have a shelter for women, children, fathering dads, and families. We have seen a bit of a spike in the last week or so, close to 100 every night are coming. And we're 24/7, so we're not turning anyone away during the day. For 24/7, we're feeding all meals, looking after people. If people get sick, putting them in certain areas of different rooms that we have. Plus, we have the village where we have 20 apartments where families actually live as they're transitioning back into society from homelessness. So all of that is still going on. In addition, we have our after school program team, we call it Project 309, that are visiting what we would call high risk kids. That's kids who, if they don't keep up with school, are going to fall behind very significantly. And also we're able to monitor the family when we get there, when it comes to food, when it comes to what's going on. So our workers are still doing that. Someone has just purchased 20 Chromebooks that we're going to be taking into the homes during this time. But today, I wanted to talk to you about our next step. And with me today is Seth Major. How you doing, Seth?
Yeah, happy to be here. Doing good.
Good. He heads up our DCP Cares division, which is our outreach arm into the communities in many different ways. And today, we wanted to address something that we've been seeing that we also feel we're going to see more of as we go further into this stay-at-home time, and that's to do with food. And we are getting calls. We are seeing families that we work with, especially with our 309 families, also with families that we serve in the village, and also Seth, as you serve on the near north side as well. We're just seeing a need that's starting to appear more than we've seen in previous weeks of non-perishable foods. We're not on about meals that are cooked. We're on about items that could be in a home that someone could make a meal with.
Yeah.
And as I said, we're taking care of the homeless, and they're getting full-blown meals. And we thank God for all the restaurants and everyone that's stepping up for that. But this is something a little bit different. Seth, do you just want to speak into that a little bit on what you've been seeing, hearing, feeling, before we give a bit of a plan of what we're wanting to do?
Yeah, absolutely. In times of crisis like this, people who have been marginalized or people who have had limited access to resources, those sores become all the more exposed.
Yeah.
And so people who, when there's not a pandemic, are having a hard time getting food, they're having all the more of a difficult time when there is a crisis like the one that we're currently in. And so those needs that have existed, which Peoria has had those needs and have had a ton of awesome food pantries in the city of Peoria and surrounding communities that regularly meet those needs. However, the people who have had those food needs, those needs increase. And then we start seeing potentially people who historically have not had a need for needing to resource a food pantry. And now for the first time, they are needing resources that food pantries provide as well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag with either present needs getting a little bit more severe or a household experiencing a need they've never had before, whether it's due to what's happening a lot is loss of jobs or at least limited hours in a job that they used to have. And so that is what a crisis can do, is it can make a need even more serious, or it can bring about a need that a household has never seen. And so what we're talking about today, of course, is this idea of food and accessibility to food.
And what we found just from talking with agencies like Midwest Food Bank and others is a lot of the food banks that we know of are closed.
Right.
And so that is an issue. So what we're wanting to do is do something real. And as you can imagine, there's things that we can and can't do because of the strict restrictions of groups and things like that. So what we wanted to do is basically 3 easy steps for people who want to help, who may have stuff in their cupboards that are just sitting there, non-perishable items are what we're talking about. We're not talking about dairy or eggs or meat. This is just non-perishable items, and also toiletries. What we're looking for is to create 3 areas throughout the region where we will be, the Dream Center will be, one morning at each location to be able to take items. And so here's how it's going to happen. We are going to be at 3 different locations. On a Tuesday morning from 10 to noon, we will be at Great Oaks Community Church, which is in Germantown Hills. On the Wednesdays, we will be at Dream Center Peoria. And on the Thursday, we will be at Northwoods Community Church, again, from 10 a.m. to noon, just those 2 hours. We will have our white box truck, and we will park in the parking lot. We've picked these locations because they've got big parking lots. We will put the box truck there, and we will open up the back of the box truck. A volunteer from Dream Center or a staff member will be in the box truck. People will drive to the box truck, and we can either take the stuff out of the car for you, or you can just get out and put it into the box truck. We will take care of getting it packed in the box truck, and then you'll drive away. So it's basically drive into one of the 3 locations, then looking for the white box truck, putting the items in there and driving away. What we will do then is take that food, and Seth's going to talk to that need in just a moment, but we just want to make it as easy as possible. 3 locations, Great Oaks Community Church in Germantown Hills, Dream Center downtown, Northwoods Community Church on the north part of Peoria. There will be a white box truck there from 10 to noon. Tuesday would be Germantown, Wednesday, downtown Peoria, Thursday, Northwoods Community Church, and you'll come up, drop the items in there. And then Seth, tell us what's going to happen then with that food.
Yeah, so we are going to, once again, take those donations and organize them into bags or boxes that present some variety. So regardless of what we get in as far as a donation, we're going to coordinate those items into bags or boxes that have a couple of items in, maybe pasta and then cans of soup or whatever ends up coming in. We'll chop those things up. And then with those food items, what we are going to do is one of our favorite things to do in ministry, and that's partner with others. That's use relationships that we already have in order to see needs become filled. And so we are going to work with, whether it's a church that we've worked with before or haven't worked with before, whether it is another area food bank or another nonprofit organization that we've worked with before, we are going to reach out to them and say, hey, if you know of a food need, whether it's someone in your congregation, whether it's someone you serve through your organization, whether it's someone who normally comes to the food bank that you operate, but you're limited in your hours or are no longer operating at all, but you have their contact information, we want to equip you with the food in order to meet that need. How we view ourselves as the Dream Center right now is not another food bank. When we saw food banks either limiting the hours of operation or closing down altogether, we didn't say, well, let's just become a new food bank. What we said was, how can we support those entities that were already in existence, those entities that already were serving people week in and week out? And so we view ourselves as strictly the middleman between a household that is able to either bring food they already have in the house or go buy it in the store. And so that's step one. Step two is the Dream Center and our volunteers and staff. And then step three is giving that food to an organization, an already established entity that already has connections with people who have the need for food. We're just providing the box truck. We're partnering with churches to provide a parking lot, and we are going to provide the labor to coordinate the bags and get them to where they need to go. And that's it. And what we hope happens is that those organizations that have already been working with others with food needs can feel supported in this time. Yeah. And so that's our aim with what we're going to be doing with those items that are donated to us.
And also, for people who may be wondering as well, we will still continue serving the families that Dream Center already works with as well.
Absolutely.
The students that come to us, the families that you see on the near north side, Seth, many different families as well. So again, we just, like Seth said it so well, we just want to be that conduit of getting food and then getting it to organizations and places and individuals that we know this is hitting them really hard. And so we're going to be launching this Tuesday out at Great Oaks, Wednesday at Dream Center, Thursday at Northwoods, and we'll just see where it goes. You know, if we're just getting a few items, we'll keep doing this. If it is huge, like many years ago when we did the Katrina distribution and we got so overwhelmed that we had to be sending semis to other areas, I don't feel it's going to be like that, but we will be in a place where we can then do different type of distribution. But for now, this is how we feel God's directing us to do that. So if you want to get involved, here's again what we're wanting you to do. Go to the nearest location that we're talking about, whether you're on the other side of the river in Washington, Morton, Germantown, Metamora. Tuesday mornings, go to Great Oaks Church and in the Germantown location, and we'll be there from 10 to noon. On Wednesday, it'll be downtown. So if you're part of the medical community or the business community and want to bring items, we'll have a truck. The truck will be in the parking lot of Dream Center on Hamilton between 10 and noon. And then on Thursday mornings from 10 to noon, we will be out at Northwoods Community Church in their parking lot. And then just bring items, non-perishable. Please let me make it clear, non-perishable, and also toiletries are huge as well at the moment. So then do that, and then we will then take care of getting them to the right hands that need food at this time. So again, thank you for tuning in. Please tell people about this new development. Please share this on social media. You'll also see some posts that are going to be appearing. Please share them so that the community knows about it. And all the information will be at dreamcenterpeoria.org/coronavirus. Or you can also click the podcast link as well, and this video would be there if you want to share from there. So again, thank you so much. And we look forward to giving you some amazing news in the near future of just how we are blessing people in the area. Thanks again, Seth.
Thanks again for listening to the Dream Center Peoria podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you know of anyone that would be interested in hearing about what we just talked about, we would encourage you to share this episode with them. Be sure to stay tuned for future episodes. Thanks.